Hey, I want to welcome everyone to TGD Today. It's Pro Golf Talk Live with very special guest in the house. Of course, you see HR and myself all the time, but we've got with us the golf monger, Mr. Brian Steffen. Thanks for sitting in there, golf monger.
No worries, buddy. Thanks for having me.
And pro golfer Charlie Hall. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We're losing you here in a little bit, but we'll shed tears, but we're going to be following you.
Okay, good. Well, I'm going to stay in touch too.
Oh, you better. We'll be highly upset and come over and do some backside kicking if you don't. So, guys, I mean,
he won't. He's all talk. Don't
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm all hot air. Abu Dhabi, the big three went out together this morning. Fowler, Spieth, Rory. There was the crowd. Then they showed the other groups that were out on the on the course, and there was nobody.
Did TV...
That included Stenson, who was at the time, a couple times during his round, he's in the lead. Nobody are following him. Nobody around him. And then all of a sudden, they started catching up to the group in front because evidently Mr. Spieth got fined $3,000 for slow play this morning. So they had backed up a little bit, fallen behind. According to the European rules official, it was Jordan's fault, which I have full argument with, but we'll go into that later. So,
yeah,
$3,000.
$3,000.
I don't know.
The new rule for the RNA, they don't do strokes. They quit penalizing strokes. They do money fines now.
So they must. Or is the
As
RNA,
of this year.
Is the RNA hurting for money then?
I don't know.
I mean, these guys don't care about money. They care about strokes more than they care about money.
$3,000. Right? He was notified, and then 2 holes later, the same rules official was still in the cart following them, and they're walking off the tee box on the par 5, and Jordan does a U-turn, goes back, requests he gets out of the cart, and then they stand there in front of the tee box and have like a 3-minute conversation. And I'm sitting there going, Jordan, you may not want to do this right now because he's going to double your fine for slow play again.
I don't think he cares. I think he wanted to say what he needed to say to this man.
Well, he wanted to get an explanation of what the hell just happened. Because Jordan Spieth is not a slow player.
No, he's
guys,
not. And I think a $3,000 fine to Spieth is he told the caddy, take it out of the side pocket of the bag.
Well, that's highly possible.
Sure, yeah. But that's possible.
Can I pay it now in cash?
Again,
do I pay you or
is this going back to the thing of why so many like Paul Casey and those have left the European tour to come to the U.S. tour and they're upset, so they're trying to? Who knows?
Well,
Heather and Charlie talked about creating a murderer or whatever that stupid thing was that's been on everybody's going crazy about, and how everything was dirty. It sounds like a setup here to me too.
Doesn't make sense because you're right. He's
Jordan
not a
Spieth
slow
is
player.
not
He's
slow.
not a slow player.
He's not
slow. And
when he's ready to play, it's his turn.
And they were sitting here showing several other European Tour players, going through their pre-shot routines and just reading putts and getting over putts and backing away from putts. And I saw George, with nothing else to do this morning at 2:30 a.m., I've got a little stopwatch on my iPhone, and I'm clocking. I counted 6 in a matter of 35 minutes of broadcast that went over the 40-second allotment.
And dude, Padraig Harrington's the slowest player in the human. He doesn't know when to pull the trigger or not.
So did they do this against Spieth as a little European Tour kick in the mouth?
Vendetta.
Ooh. Oh.
Or is
world number one?
I was going to say, or is it to let everybody know we'll do it to world number one, so don't think we won't do it to you.
See?
Maybe.
But he can wear shorts if he wants to in practice round.
They all can.
Yeah.
And they can ride the little surfboards.
During practice rounds?
You saw that?
Who did that over there?
You saw the picture?
Yeah, I did see the picture.
Yeah, the 4 of them going down
That's
the fairway.
awesome. Why wouldn't you?
In their shorts.
In their shorts?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, in Abu Dhabi, I can see it because it's 400 degrees over there.
It's a rule now.
You want to attract more young fans to the game of golf? Let them play in shorts and ride those surfboards in competitive rounds.
That'll never happen.
I mean, you're right.
You're right.
But if you want to attract new young fans to
Sure.
the game, let them play in shorts and ride those surfboards on tournament rounds.
The sales of those things would
Oh,
go,
my God.
Oh,
And the young kids getting out to decide, I want to play golf because they want to ride one of those stupid surfboard things. I'm telling you, let them do it on tour, on TV,
You're right, Brian.
and it'll
You're
bring
right.
more young people to the game. But it'll never happen. You're right, Hugh.
I mean, it's cool they let them do it over here, and I mean, I would imagine in Abu Dhabi and over there they would have those, and because it's the cool new
Right.
kind of thing.
Well, they went viral on Facebook.
oh, it went
Yeah.
nuts, and so I mean, kids are seeing that.
Well, you can ride them here in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Polly's Island,
Yeah.
True Blue. You
Yeah.
can ride them down
You
there.
can hit them down there at Caledonia.
True Blue in Caledonia, you can
Yep.
ride them.
So, another thing that ticked me off about this morning in the first round coverage, early morning in the East Coast here, was Bryson DeChambeau, of course, the USA amateur player, who is still an amateur. He is still registered as an amateur. He has an A beside of his name. He goes out and shoots 8 under par, 64, and they show him one time during 3.5 hours of coverage. One time. One time.
Well, you know why?
Why?
He's an amateur.
Because the big three are playing together.
And he's an
National
amateur.
Oh, but
Tournament.
they're showing guys that are at +1. They followed him, and I'm not going to mention his name, but
And he's an amateur.
Cheeseburger is how he's referred to. He's at +1, and they're sitting there. They show his drives and they show his approach shots, and just wonder why isn't he? Then they show last year's champion, and he's at +1, and they're going, well, I wonder what's wrong with him. Why don't you show this guy going absolutely haywire with unconventional clubs that are, by the way, approved? Okay, but this amateur is going out and shooting 8 under par, leading the
bogey.
way. Thank you very much, Charlie.
With a bogey.
With a bogey, thank you. And here's Stenson and McElroy and the rest of them just chasing this kid down. So
They won't be chasing him for
And you
long.
show him once. You don't think he's got stamina for 4 days?
Well, it's a simple fact. He
I
has
hope
an
he
A
does.
by his name, and nobody cares. Until he is there to win the golf tournament, the last day, you will not see him.
Okay, it's a shame.
Same thing happened to
Is this
Verplank at
another-
the Western Open.
Is this
happened to
No, hold
Mickelson?
on. We're talking European Tour here. Is this another stab at the Americans? Oh, I'm trying to
No.
stir the pot.
No,
are.
no, this
think
isn't.
so.
This isn't a stab. This is a simple fact. This is the kid that should be a senior competing at SMU. They got hosed by the
He got the
NCAA. So they're in USGA.
Well, that was SMU's fault and not his fault.
I understand. So
he
this
lost
kid
his
got
individual title
he
at
gets
the
penalized.
NCAAs.
Well, he didn't lose it, but he just couldn't go back and defend it.
Right.
But the thing is, he is an amateur. If he had played as a professional, they'd be talking about the newly turned professional Bryson DeChambeau.
Right.
He's a young man that plays with the same length clubs. Look at this. He's 6 under par, 7 under. Now he's just shot 64 and he's at 8 under par. But because he has the amateur by his name, nobody cares
Wow.
until it becomes a Sunday. And if he is in this position on Sunday, he will get all the coverage he can stand, and
Maybe
then we'll
on-
see how hot the kitchen
Maybe
gets.
on Saturday. If
Maybe.
he's paired with Stenson or,
And if
or
they've-
McElroy or Spieth
And
or
if they
whatever.
get to about 19, 20 under,
yeah,
you're right.
Then they might care
I
if
agree.
he's still doing it.
I agree.
Well,
He
May-
finished
maybe
second-
Saturday.
He finished second in the Australian Open, the Australian Masters, Australian Open a few weeks ago, and no one really ever talked about that either.
It was
Again,
last year.
because he's an amateur.
Last year.
Because he's an
Because
amateur,
he's
I'm
an
telling
amateur.
you.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Well,
I watched,
sorry to get so aggressive,
no,
but you
no,
seem to
no.
get so pissed. I just figured,
I watched the morning show on, of course, the Golf Channel this morning, and Charlie Reimer was teaching everyone how Henrik Stenson hits his 3-wood so far. I didn't know if Charlie's got that same move that Stenson does. Why isn't he out on tour? I don't get that.
He's old.
If he already knows,
I'm not touching that.
okay, all right. Boy, you're just not. I'm throwing the line
You
out
are.
there.
You're trying.
I'm
You're
trying to hook
You're
it.
trying.
Look, Charlie Reimer's one of my
Damn,
good
Brian.
friends. I'm not gonna, he's just trying to give some advice to the amateur golfer that's up at 2:30 in the morning watching this thing.
Yeah, me.
So, but I'm gonna tell you this right now: the funniest thing to me is reading and watching Stenson's interviews about how he only played 13 events, so he didn't play enough to keep his card. You realize that guy doesn't care. He does not care.
No.
He's going to get in 12 tournaments
Yeah.
Regardless.
here And they're all going to be the World Golf Championships, the majors, and then he's
WGCs.
going to,
Yeah.
He's going to get plenty of invites.
and Steve and them down there in Hilton Head are going to give him an exemption to the Heritage, and he's going to play wherever, and he's going to play in Europe. He can go play over in. He doesn't care, and their tour's acting like, well, we kicked him off, because he would not. He doesn't care. And the European tour talking about Paul, he doesn't care.
Right.
Because when it comes to the Ryder Cup, if you think they're not going to pick the best player to play on their team that's from originally Europe,
Oh, you're darn
you're
right.
stupid. They're
Yeah.
going to pick them. I don't care where they play.
Yeah, you're damn right. Yeah. No doubt about it.
They're going to pick them.
Yep.
And I tell you what, you're going to find out come the Olympics, there's a lot of people aren't going to play. There's a lot of really good players that are not going to play in the
Sure.
Olympics
Because
Sure.
they don't want to.
They're not going to skip a major.
They're not going to want to go down.
Well, the PGA's right before.
Yeah, they're not missing a major.
They're not missing one.
They're not going to miss a major, and then they're going to fly down to Brazil with all the mosquito and this whole disease thing that's going around, or
Well,
virus.
they
and-
got to worry more
They're
about
not-
being kidnapped
Or
and held
killed.
for ransom.
Yeah.
Well, and they're having trouble finding people to play test rounds.
and nobody will even go down there.
Nobody wants to go.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't think they didn't think this through very well, picking Rio as the place to reintroduce
That's right.
golf to the Olympics.
Well, they thought the romanticism of Rio and the party and the carnival and all that kind of stuff would people would say, okay, yeah, we'll
Do
go.
you think the golfers care about
no,
all that stuff?
not at all.
No. They picked they're either 4 years too late or 4 years too early reintroducing golf.
Good point.
I agree with you.
Good point.
Don't think London wouldn't have been perfect 4 years ago
Oh, perfect.
to reintroduce golf
Wentworth.
in
Go
London?
right up the street to your place.
Yep.
I mean,
You know?
it's been a home game.
Lytham. I mean,
You get a-
Yeah. Royal Lytham. No
Yeah,
doubt about
I mean,
it. I mean, there's a plethora of golf courses they could have used. They didn't have to build one.
What's that word?
Plethora.
Plethora? Is anything like a plethora?
Plethora.
Okay.
That's how I
but
say
thusly,
Plethora. Hold on. That's Heather, take a drink. All right, let's go down through the leaderboard here. DeChambeau, of course, 8 under par. Stenson, although made a late bogey, he was at 8 under, goes back 7. Brandon Grace comes in at 6 under par. Rory McIlroy playing, of course, him and Fowler. And Jordan, the real featured group of the day as far as the coverage. McIlroy looked really good. I noted early about how much body mass he has put on over the holiday. That dude is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, he's got a little insert on his sleeves just to open them up a little bit so he can get the biceps in. So, I mean, he had a skin-tight shirt on, and I'm telling you, the back muscles, he's just ripping when he bends over to read a putt. It's amazing. And the fiance was there in all her glory with the 3 bodyguards and the
12 karat diamond or whatever she's got.
shoot, dude. That thing's 40 if it's.
But the thing is, George, and you talk about it, and I agree with you. I mean, I think the young man's put some time in the gym to get himself physically stronger, and as far as his flexibility and whatnot. But you got to be careful of that Tiger syndrome.
And we've talked
I
about
just,
that 100 times.
I see it coming. You get so obsessed with stronger, bigger, hidden. I mean, your body can only take so much. You're putting enough
How much
stress on
further
it.
does Rory need to hit the ball?
He doesn't, and that's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's what I mean. How much? I mean, he already hits it as far as he wants. How much further do you need?
Yeah, I don't understand that whole. I mean, get in, do some proper, training, weightlifting for your golf swing. But as far as muscles and strength, and I don't get it. I don't. I really don't. I think you got to work on the golf muscles and make those stronger, not just look like you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, for crying out loud.
And what's so impressive is just literally 5-6 weeks ago, Henrik Stenson's having surgery, and now he's back out. He's got a limp, you can tell, especially at the end of the round. He was starting to hobble around a little bit. But, however, it wasn't affecting the swing. And you look at his score, and he didn't lose any touch. I mean, it's like, okay, this is my first trip back, and I'll just go out and shoot 7 under, and it's a normal day on the golf course. And, oh, by the way, again, the driver takes a free ride in the bag the entire day, never sees sunlight. So, I don't even know why he carries one.
I was about to say, don't you think he could add another club?
Add another wedge.
Something, right?
Make something productive. I mean, that thing's just collecting more dust.
Maybe he likes the way it looks sticking out of the bag.
Who cares? I don't know. But, God, does he rip that thing?
Oh, he does. He does.
I mean, he just kills
It's not, I was going to say the driver's not necessary the way he hits that 3-wood.
Yeah, that's a he's a different man with that club in his hand. So again, Matthew Fitzpatrick, the token Golden Boy. Toward the end of the year, we were following him on several European Tour events. He again is right there at 4 under par. Richard Bland at 5 under. Nicholas Faust at 4 under. David Howell at 4 under. Again, we mentioned Jordan Spieth finishes. He's at 4 under par at T7. Thomas Bjorn. Guys, there's some great players. Ricky went over there to make the trip, and they've had a lot of fun in the social media aspect leading up to, the first day of play. So it's been a lot of fun for them this whole week with the surfboarding down the fairways and the parties and all the tweeting going on and the pictures and all. So, and this for them, this is one of their more favorite golf courses because although they've kind of shrunk in the fairways, they've let the rough grow this year. And you see that when Stenson got into one of his last 2 holes, he got into the left side rough, and literally he hacked a 7-iron as hard as anybody I've ever seen swing one, and it only went about 120 yards. And so with the raising of the rough this year, they've added a little teeth to this otherwise docile golf course. It normally just lays there and lets them take advantage of it at 30 under par. So at these numbers, 7 and 8 under for the first day, that's pretty damn impressive considering that the greens are firm. They will get firmer. They will get a lot faster. There's zero rain in the forecast. It was 80 degrees today. And it's likewise going to be a little warmer tomorrow, a little warmer on Saturday, and then a lot warmer on Sunday. So this golf course is just going to cook out a little bit. They don't have to worry about water because they just ship it all in, just like the grass and the trees and everything.
I just think that's where you watch and see how much that comes into play as far as being able to control your golf ball. I mean, that's the ball running through fairways into that rough you're talking about, and then like you said, the green's already firm, so it could be a different ball game. We'll just have to see.
Well, I was disturbed when it all came about with Jordan Spieth and the penalty, the $3,000 fine for slow play. I'm sitting there watching it, going, okay, define what he just did, and it was interesting because kind of Rory and Ricky were walking ahead, and when he was approached and notified that he was going to be fined. And, it was not the 3 of them standing there listening like the group had been put on the clock. Jordan specifically was targeted. And so I just got to wonder where all that stemmed from. But we'll see.
Well,
if anything falls out of it.
To put it to you this way, George, he may have been targeted. I'm not going to argue that. But the simple thing is you cannot penalize a group. You are penalized individually. So you're penalized based on your time. So when a tour official is following a group that has fallen behind, it is strictly he's timing each individual person, writing it down, keeping the times, and that way that gives them their basis for each person and who is the culprit of the slow play. That's the way it's done. Now, why he waited and singled out Jordan without the other 2, I don't know. Did he notify them they were on the clock? Because if you're not notified that you're on the clock, then you cannot be fined.
Jordan was notified he was on the clock.
He was.
Yes.
Okay. Then there you go.
And Jordan just went through his normal routine. He was not doing anything different. I was sitting there looking. Did he get in the rough? Did he get in the trees? Did he do this? Did he do that? That would cause him to
on a putting stroke. I just found an article about it. It said on the 8th green, he took more time than what was allotted to hit his putt, and was told on the 9th tee that he received the penalty. So it was while he was putting.
So they're not going to. So he'd already been warned, though.
It didn't say, but I'm assuming.
Yeah,
you would have to assume
it had to be
been
warned if he's
Right.
going to get the penalty.
They can't
So
just penalise you for one bad time.
yeah, that's true. They've got.
They were informed they were being monitored.
Oh yeah, he
they
was
were
in the
informed.
cart.
They were informed as they walked to the 4th tee.
Okay.
So 4 holes later, they slapped him with the $2,800 fine.
So I guess
Yeah, with the exchange rate, it
Yeah.
worked out to be $3,000 US.
Yeah, he said. Even Rory said it was a bit of a weird one. Sometimes the refs use common sense with the time we're allowed. If you take an extra look at a putt, you're over the time. But if we're in position relative to the group ahead, there's usually no reason to time us, is what McElroy said afterwards. So he and Fowler were both surprised that Jordan got smacked with the penalty. But
I wonder if they hit Mike Weir with anything. Shooting 80.
Or Anthony Kim, who can't swing at it sometimes. It looks like he's whiffing.
I don't understand, too. Again, he was one of the spotlight players for this event and goes out and posts 80. Maybe time for Mike.
Who was a spotlight player?
Mike Weir.
I didn't know he was in the field. I didn't know he was in the field. He
Yeah.
said he was a spotlight player.
No, he was.
Yeah, shot Frosty.
He kept running across the banner for Golf Channel, those playing.
That
Notable players.
That was sleeping at 2:30.
Notable players.
Well, the guy did win the Masters, dude.
Okay.
He did. Long
All right.
time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. All right.
And he's a good guy.
Just so everybody gets an update, Tunjai Jaidi. I have to announce
Got to
it.
work him in. You love to
gotta-
say that
yeah.
name.
Tunjai Jaidi finishes -1. So,
Lord
of
help
course,
me.
he's right there in the money, in the hunt. What do you say?
Kiradesh Afi Bonrot, you got to throw that one in there,
There
too.
you go, babe. Good
See?
job.
Yeah,
Attaboy.
Yeah.
My boy, who I like, Thomas Peters, 3 under from Belgium, played at Illinois for a couple of years. He's a very good player.
Good player.
Very good player.
But we were talking about Matthew Fitzpatrick. I mean, he's a small statue. He reminds me of a European Jordan Spieth, and he just goes out. He plays. He's not flamboyant. He's he's fun to be around. Evidently, all the guys talk about how much fun it is to play with him.
Yeah.
But he wastes no time. He just gets up and hits it. And again, Matthew Fitzpatrick starting off this calendar year with a really good event at Abu Dhabi at 4 under par. So congratulations to him. Now we got a couple other events going on. Of course, the CareerBuilder.com.
The Bob Hope, basically.
The
The
Bob
old
Hope.
Bob Hope.
That's now Bill Clinton Foundation sponsored and spotlighting Phil Mickelson's return.
Pretty long title. It's a career builder challenge.
Yeah.
Is
Thank
what
you.
it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
wish they'd go
They're going
back.
to use PGA West again in the rotation.
changing up the rotation. They're using West and the Nicholas public course, along with the country club with La Quinta.
Yeah, La Quinta, the public court, the Nicholas, the one that's got all the raised greens with the deep bunkers. We used to
Yeah.
play tour school there. That's a heck of a golf course.
It's gonna be. You won't see the scores you normally see, according to the experts.
Well,
Yes, you will.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I think you will, but
Sure
they're
you will.
saying that
Yes, you will.
on paper the rotation is tougher than it has.
Well, they
been.
haven't used West since '87.
Yeah.
So
PJ West is gone, but I mean they'll play the Palmer course where they finish on the 18th. They'll use the Nicholas course, which I mean they'll shoot low there, and then La Quinta you'll shoot low because I mean it's a lot of, you're through the houses and stuff. The out of bounds, it's a lot of
Well, you always see the girls at La Quinta, and that seems to kick them versus the other courses there. So just because of that, the out of bounds is right there, just
Yeah.
left and right of the fairways. So again, we've got that tournament going on. Do we expect great things out of Phil right out of the chute, or
You never know.
I think it'll be interesting with his new teacher and what he's trying to so-called do, and I really think it'll be interesting.
I don't think he'll play bad, but I wouldn't go to a window and lay money on him. But I don't think he'll play bad.
right?
I mean, dumb as this sounds, George, he's played well this year so far since the wraparound started, and he always plays well in California.
Yeah.
Patrick Reed, you got to watch.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Patrick
he
Reed,
gets out there and he goes.
I think you got to watch Paul Casey. You brought him up earlier. I mean, Casey's not going anywhere after the year he just had.
No.
Shoot, he's not going anywhere.
Haas, defending champ, all-time money leader in this event.
Yeah, but
He's
kind of like Hunter Mahan. Just who's going to show up that day?
yeah, but he
Or Sybil.
he plays
Keegan Bradley.
but he's been playing well. But Haas has been playing well.
Did I say that out loud?
He did. He did. I don't know why you're wasting breath on that guy.
I don't either, except
Char-
for the high tops.
Yeah, Charlie Hoffman always plays well out there.
Yeah.
In this event, guys
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Ryan Palmer.
Yeah.
Listen. This is one of those events.
You always-
The list of guys that you shouldn't be surprised win this thing is pretty long this week. Mm-hmm. I think longer than most weeks.
I mean,
I would agree.
dude, if the weather is good out there, it's like playing in a dome. I mean, it honestly is. The ball goes further. It's no humidity. I mean, it's the perfect place to play golf. It's cool in the morning. It's perfect during the day, and as the afternoon goes on, it cools off. I mean, you couldn't play in any better weather. But now, when you get those Santa Anas coming through there, you better go find you some cover. Because I have seen it literally cover a golf course in a foot of dust. But perfect weather conditions, it's the best, absolute best.
Well, also this week, of course, the Champions Tour gets back started, or the PGA Tour's Champions as the new
They've
title.
changed the name again?
They changed the name officially last 2 nights ago. Sorry. At the
PGA
annual
Tour Champions.
PGA Tour Champions.
What cracks me up is not everybody plays on that tour has ever won an event, but yet they call it Champions.
That's true.
What was so wrong with calling it the Senior
Where the
Tour?
legends play.
Yeah, but what was so wrong with calling it the Senior Tour?
That's a real good question, Brian. And to be honest with you, I think it was because they just didn't want to say, hey, come watch the old guys.
Are we fighting the old? I mean, it's old guys.
Well, senior would put a tagline on it, like you're going down to the nursing home and getting people out there to
I mean,
play.
you got John Daly in less than 100 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they think he's going to be a big boost to,
Ooh,
you know.
huge. Huge.
I think you
Him
will.
and his Winnebago. And
I think it's
and
crazy as it
selling
sounds.
the T-shirts out in the
As
parking
crazy
lot.
as it sounds, I think if he takes it serious, or as serious as he does, I think it will be a boost at certain times to have Daly on that tour.
Do you realize what you just said?
I said as serious as he can.
There is a 2-letter word you used.
If I know, and it's the biggest word in that sentence, by the way.
And I have seen every side of this spectrum. And I'm telling you, he is one of the most gifted, talented people that's ever played the PGA Tour. But I'm going to
Without
tell you
question.
what, George said a name a minute ago that could get us all in trouble here on radio, but it fits this man to a T too.
Sybil.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Because I'm telling you, I was in Vancouver when he had the meltdown. And it was pretty scary to see him standing there. It was 100 degrees. We're all sweating to death, and he's out there with jackets. I mean, and I've known John. We went through tour school for the first time in '87 together. I mean, I've known him since then. Great guy. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
And if they're banking on that, you might as well go to Vegas and start rolling dice.
Well, they've got several. I mean, with the recent, you got Davis Love, who's playing both tours. That helps out tremendously. Captain of the Ryder Cup, Right. So, and Hualalai always brings, it's fun. It's good television. It brings it out there. I think, again, do we look for, Bernhard Langer getting away from the anchoring of the putter?
He won't be able. It'll be like the old days. He won't be able to putt anymore.
Well,
No, he'll
we'll
be
see.
putting with that thing like Tim Clark's using. Telling you.
That's a weird looking putter, by the way.
I
Yeah.
understand, but
Yeah.
it worked for him.
What
Yeah.
Tim Clark's using.
And
Yeah.
Langer will be using something along those
Yeah.
lines.
Oh,
I
I'm
promise
sure.
you.
Yep.
I'm sure.
Then, of course, you got Colin Montgomery. You've got the
Wait.
other.
The mechanic.
The mechanic. You got VJ, Kenny Perry. You got
Kenny
plenty
had
of
an off
names.
year last year.
Yeah,
so
but couples.
he struggled a little bit. You still got Hall of Famers like Couples, which is one of the big draws for the Champions
Sure.
Tour.
Sure.
I mean, the older ladies love to come out and see Boom Boom for whatever reason. So
I mean, I was
You
on
know
the
the
phone the
reason.
other day with my friend from Bridgestone, and he said, "Hang on a minute," and he goes, "I got to call you back." And he had couples calling him in on the other line talking about the new golf ball that Bridgestone's launched, and so they're going back and forth with that. So Freddie can still play. It's just
Sure
a
he can.
matter:
Sure.
is he in the mood?
Sure he
Has
can.
he done his back exercises to
Right.
keep it from bothering him? The guy still hits it 9 miles,
Sure.
and he's a great guy, and people love him.
We saw the transition now from like Tom Lehman every week to Kenny Perry every week to now Colin Montgomery. Bernhard Langer has just been a phenom for 5 years now
Yeah.
on the Champions Tour. We all talked right here on this network just several months ago because of the anchoring ban and the implementation on January 1st of 16. Would that be the reason for Bernhard to go ahead and call it quits?
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
And
I guess another Charles Schwab Cup win would,
Yeah.
what does he need, a fifth? A sixth? I mean, when is there enough? So, but I think it's great he's back out there
I
because
think so.
he raises the level of these other guys. Trust
Yeah.
me, he does.
Well, I mean, if you want to play golf, you're going to go play golf. And the thing is, I mean, they've got a closed shop there where they're not going to go
yeah.
anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's nobody going to take their place.
Yeah.
Because I've got friends that have gone out there, gone through the tour school, gotten status, finished top 5 in a tournament, and can't get in the next one.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to go back Monday, qualify the next week, and they just finished 5th.
Because all these guys keep.
Oh, yeah.
Because they
Right.
have closed it. The PGA Tour has closed it up so much that they keep them out. And so, again, how long is everybody going to keep caring about Bernhard Langer and the people that are out there if they're not allowing some new people to come in there and play?
Well,
You get tired of watching. I mean, I don't watch the senior tour because I'm tired of watching the same people. Unless my buddy Gene Sowers or, Jerry Haas or somebody like that or Billy Andre's up there playing well, I'll watch. But other than that, go ahead. I could care less.
well, there's other names transitioning from the PGA Tour. Several players that are
There's a lot of guys that won't go to the senior tour because of that, George. And they're eligible. Jerry Kelly, Vijay Singh. Vijay plays in 1 or 2. Jerry Kelly will probably play in 1 or 2. Jerry just turned 50, but he could care less about going there. He goes, there's more money on the tour, and I can still compete. And he finished, top 10 last week?
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why would he want to go to the senior tour?
Well, he's
And
not,
the,
he's
and the
not
same
going
thing for
to
VJ. VJ still thinks and still has
Competed.
the game to compete on the PGA Tour.
Sure.
So he's back and forth.
I wouldn't transition until it was obvious that I couldn't compete anymore.
Well, I agree. And there's
Right.
a lot of them that aren't doing it.
No, because they still can.
Yeah.
But they
And
eventually.
Davis is doing it because of the political reasons.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
That's the only reason he's over there playing this week is because they said, we need you there to help let them see your name. And
Well, it gives them a reason to spend a month in Hawaii.
and it's also
you know.
politics.
Kapalua, Wailai.
Just he's been hanging out in Hawaii for a month.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, and you got both Ryder Cup and President's Cup captains playing because Haas is playing as well this week.
Good
You
point.
know, so that's good.
Larry Nelson's playing.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
when's the last time Larry Nelson played in a tour event?
playing Hawaii.
He wanted to go to Hawaii.
15 years ago?
It's a reason.
wanna go to
It's a
Hawaii.
reason to go to Hawaii.
But then he keeps somebody out that's trying to play out there regularly.
Oh, well.
Well,
But he
I-
goes once because I want a vacation. I mean,
Okay.
it just doesn't make sense to me. From a
Understand.
player standpoint, it doesn't make sense. You're taking a spot away from somebody that's literally going to try to use it.
Understand. Brian, you
Yo.
and Jeff Deal got the fantasy golf program fired up.
Yeah, we
Rocking and rolling?
rolled that out starting with Kapalua a couple of weeks ago. Fantasy Golf TV with Jeff Deal. Happy to ride shotgun with him most weeks on that. Having a lot of fun. Jeff actually won last week, so he's bragging. He won.
Really?
And I finished second, so it was a good week. Considering the first week I was the only man in our entire list of people playing that didn't take Jordan Spieth on their team at Kapalua,
So you got that going for you.
which is nice.
Yeah.
But I climbed all the way from like next to last to 11th place
Sweet.
in 1 week. So
How's
it's early.
Professor doing?
The professor's doing okay.
Yeah.
The
Good
professor's doing okay. Yeah. So no, Fantasy Golf TV. It's not too late to join. Missed the first couple of weeks. It'll be harder to win the segment, but the full year, it's only been a couple. Get on it. Just go to the site golfdirect.com or Facebook Fantasy Golf TV. Get signed up. Join in. It's a lot of fun.
And check out the program.
Check out the
so you
program.
can get the inside
Right.
and the scoop and
Us
and
experts.
the stats.
Us experts
Well,
talk
yeah,
about.
I mean,
I can be
consider
the
y'all
obnoxious one emailing in going, are you
experts.
kidding
Are
me?
you out of your freaking mind?
Yeah.
Have you lost it?
Yeah. When I make an outrageous claim that Fabian Gomez is going to win last week, and
like,
then I turn out I'm right.
Yeah.
Then I
There
turn
it
out
is.
I'm right.
That's right.
Happens like once a year. So bad news is I got it out of the way already.
But the best part, you didn't pick who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First week I didn't pick Speed.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Part of that was strategic on my point. You can only use them
Sure.
10 times a year.
Exactly.
And I wasn't wasting it in the first week.
Kapalua.
At Kapalua.
Yeah. So,
My bad.
Charlie Hall, good luck, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
We expect to hear from you soon and often.
I will do.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be in
HR,
touch.
thanks for your time.
You got
today,
it, buddy. Thank you.
Brian, thanks for joining us today
Glad
here
to be
on
here.
Pro Golf Talk Live. TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to check out those featured course pages where you'll find a lot of up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much, much more. Need help with any golfing vacation? Just call Dave right here at the Golf Director. You can get in touch with us right here at 844-GO-GOLF-1, 844-464-6531. All of our programming, all of these shows that we've talked about, is archived for listening and viewing on demand. You can catch up on any show by clicking the TGD TV tabs or the TGD radio tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. We're now available on over 1 billion devices at iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Periscope, Catch.me, Blueberry, and, of course, the Myrtle Beach Golf app. For Brian Steffen, Charlie Hull, HR3, Hugh Roy III, I'm George Honeycutt. We want to thank you for joining us. We want to wish Jeff Gilder a happy birthday again, but we want to thank you very much for joining us here on TGD Radio and TGD TV. Don't go anywhere. A lot more golf news and information coming up next.